Hey guys, welcome back to the Lord of the Rings, The Battle for Middle-earth 2, The Rise of the Witch King expansion pack. I sometimes like just saying the whole name out loud. Anyway, we have another cast of a 2 versus 2 game, and you'll notice the map is a bit different on this one. This is from the June 2 versus 2 tournament, which has begun recently, and this is from the first round of the tournament. I'm going to cast these 2 games from the first round to start things off. And these 2 games are going to be between DJParson as men and his ally Djinges, I'm not really sure how to say his name, as Isengard, against their opponents Muadd as Goblins and Lazarus as Angmar. And again, this is the map Far Harad. It is a different map than what you may have seen. One of the things that makes this tournament unique is that we are actually telling players what maps they should play their games on, which has resulted in more variety, which should make things more interesting. You can see it's actually a pretty nice looking map. There's quite a lot to see. There's cave trolls, it seems, on over here, in the north and south, and west and east you have spiders and signal fires, so that's cool. And of course in the middle you have a big outpost, and there's these little rocky formations, so you really have these kind of areas between them to move around. And let's just quickly check what the players are doing. And we see here Parson is employing, well, typical barracks start as men. Not going for anything risky like cavalry. He's going to play it safe, see what he's up against first. I believe his opponents are random, so it's not a good idea to really risk it until you know what you're dealing with. And we can see Djinges actually went for a Wildman start, but he's getting a fast Uruk bit just in case. And of course his opponent Muadd here is Goblins, just typical Goblin cave, building his 3rd cave now. He's going to build up his spam very fast, and Angmar already on 2 hulls of the King's Men, getting ready to spam like crazy, I'm sure. And Parson's moving in to intercept these Gundabad warriors. Of course these Gondor soldiers are going to be stronger than the warriors, but it doesn't seem to be, they don't seem to be as fast. We do have some Goblins coming in to support them though, and that's going to be a problem for Parson pretty fast. And yep, it looks like Parson's first unit of soldiers was rally called, and now these guys retreated. And they're going to go for this mill. But right now, Parson's base is under attack from 2 different sides. He's going to lose 2 farms here. At least 2 farms. He might not get to a 3rd farm because these soldiers are going to get in the way right away. And over here, the Wildmen are trying to do a bit of damage, but these Goblins are showing up from the tunnel network to cause them quite a bit of grief. It's always a good idea to use the tunnel network, of course, as Goblins. And here we can see that Parson's going to lose this unit. War Chant was used on these warriors right there. There's already a lot of action going on in different parts of the map, as you can see. Goblins intercepting more Wildmen. And we can see that Parson here, who has a lot more soldiers, has to stop more Gundabad orcs from causing trouble here. We have a double barracks at this point to try to keep up with Angmar. And now we can see that Parson was trying to get the spider lair, but the orcs are causing a bit of trouble for him. He's going to deal with that. And over here, Muadd is just dealing with any Wildmen he runs into, but now we can see crossbows are being mixed in with the Wildmen, which is a good strategy against Goblins. It makes it a lot easier to deal with them. But over here, Muadd still has quite a few Goblins, and there's no one really to stop them unless they destroy some furnaces. And the Isengard, on the other hand, making a bit of progress on this side of the map. And let's just quickly check what's going on over here. Yep, Parson's moving in from the left. We have Black Numenorians, who have been produced really quickly, and they're easily capable of killing these soldiers, even in defensive stance and shield wall. You can see they actually do quite a bit of damage, and they don't take too much damage. Let's just quickly check the... Actually, did I have somebody selected? Because I see War Chant is showing ad. Okay. So we have, did I actually mention that Lazarus is playing in this game, or did I just say Angmar? Now I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure if I mentioned his name. Wow, that's awkward. Well, anyway, that's Lazarus, guys. But anyway, he has War Chant. almost 5 points. He's gonna get Fell Wind perhaps, or save up for 10 points. Djinges over here. He's got Krebine, he's scouted with it, and he's got 6 points. We're gonna see what happens next. I'm just gonna jump around the map as I say the powers, just so you guys can see some of the action while it happens. We have War Chant for Muadd, 3 power points, and Parson has the Rallying Call, which you would expect as a starting power for men, and he's got almost 5 points. He's about to get the 5 points now. He could get another 5-point power or save up for 10. And yeah, there's just tons of action. Everybody's pretty much trying to harass, trying to take out their enemies' economies. This outpost was taken out pretty early. Nobody tried to capture it yet. But the signal fires, we can see Parson grab the one on the left, the treasure. He can quickly pick that up if he has the time, but he's going to have to deal with a lot of Numenorians, and they're going to be a problem. You can see that actually Angmar hasn't really... Actually, he's that Thrallmaster... Okay, so all these Thrallmasters did summon units, and there are no pikes anywhere. So cavalry could be useful here. Of course, Fell Wind is always a problem, but Angmar can only really use it every so often. I guess it's better to force them to use some Rudar Spearmen than to just rely on large numbers of Numenorians. And we can see Angmar actually took the signal fire, and on the right, Muadd, or actually Djinges, has the signal fire. And he's got pikes mixed in. I'm not really sure if they're especially necessary, although I guess it was a good idea because Muadd is working towards spiders right now. Spider Riders, of course. I guess you could try Spiderlings, but I don't think they would be too effective. And again, we have Goblins exiting the tunnel network, ready to interfere here. And this is devastating when they show up like this and they're just surrounding your units. They can do a lot of damage. Let's just quickly take a look. I'm curious at... Okay, so Muadd is almost at 5 power points. He's going to be getting quite a bit from killing all these guys if he defends correctly. Angmar here also trying to help his allies slightly. But Isengard's also attacking the left side. It seems that Parson's having a little bit of trouble right now with his Angmar opponent. These Numenorians are just devastating. And the double barracks is not going to be enough. He is getting his stables. And that will definitely help if Angmar fails to bring some pikes, which is surprising that they aren't really bringing any pikes. Because you should always anticipate that your opponent will get, especially if your opponent's men, that your opponent will actually get some pikemen. And we can see here, Wildman, someone was actually used by Djinges, almost took out this Hall of the King's Men, level 2, the one that was producing the Black Numenorians. That was such a pain in the butt for Parson. But, of course, Snowbind was used, and Snowbind is just very effective in saving your buildings. It lasts for quite a while, so you're usually okay. As long as you can take out these guys, which they'll be able to do. You have a few Numenorians, at least one full unit. But Parson at least has a chance to take out a level 2 mill right here at the back in the corner. A heavy loss for Angmar, but one that he can certainly recover from. And we do have Spider Riders on the field in bow mode, of course, since they can't really just charge in with those pikes. So they're just going to shoot the pikes from a distance instead. Not doing a huge amount of damage since there's just one unit of them and there's only 6 Spider Riders in one horde. And over here, more Wildmen. One thing they can do is trample these Wildmen, I suppose. But they have to deal with these guys, because there's quite a few of them. And really, at this point, we can see that Djinges' Isengard is pretty much pushing Muadd back into his base. Muadd hasn't really gone very far for some time now. And it looks like Parson has reversed things, and he is the one now actually pushing Angmar back. I think that Wildman summon was very useful. So Djinges really did a good job helping his ally, and now these Gondor Knights are going to be a huge problem for Angmar. And that unit's going to have to retreat to heal. Lost too many units. And look at this, once again, there are no pikes here. Just asking to be trampled. But it seems that Parson is going to focus on attacking instead, but Muadd is showing up to help his ally, and we now have Rudar Spearmen, and a good use of War Chant. And a good use of Fell Wind, too. Although really it was more to buy them a bit of time. Not for any extra strategic significance. We have more Black Numenorians being built. And here Djinges is just, oh, he took out a builder right there. And he's still putting the pressure on Muadd. And oh, look at Parson's builder just trying to escape from this wrath of Angmar here, running into his ally's base. He has, oh, and he stopped running. I don't think Parson realized they would keep going after the builder. He's going to lose the builder, and there goes the builder. Now let's focus on the more interesting battle over here before people complain that I'm missing important parts of the game. And we have, again, was Snowbind just used again? That was really fast. It really charges quite quickly. It is a 5-point power, of course, so it will charge pretty quickly. I think the standard recharge time is something like 3 minutes for 5-point powers, although I guess it could vary. I'm not sure if there's exceptions. I know there are for some powers, but I don't know if it's for 5-point powers like Snowbind. But that Hall of the King's Men went down. It just couldn't withstand it. And those Wildmen really did a very good job. We haven't even actually seen torches yet. Imagine if they had torches. And now Parson's whole attack basically went down, and same with Djinges' Wildman there. Again, I'm probably pronouncing that name wrong. I have no idea how to pronounce it. But unfortunately for Muadd, he's really in a rough spot right now. He did send his Spider Riders to help his ally, but now his own base is in danger. And things are really looking good for the bottom team right now, as the top team's struggling, trying to recover. Parson just did really well with his, by getting his cavalry here. They're going to be quite difficult to kill. Gondor Knights have quite a bit of health and armor. They're pretty strong cavalry. The Spider Rider's trying to chase them off a little bit. And we have a Hobbit summoned by Parson going after the Spider Pit. This is not good. And we have a rallying call, and these Wildmen are going after the Goblin Cave, which will go down very quickly. So we're going to see both these buildings go down, and this could be the end for Muadd. He has a lot of Spider Riders, but they're just not... Why is he using the bow mode, actually? Because there aren't really... I mean, there's one pike at this point. He needs to trample. He really should be trampling, and there we go. He's going to trample. He's dealt with enough pikes. He's just one left, really. And he can now trample everything else. He might even have... I'm not sure if he has enough Spider Riders to take on the Knights. Yeah, there's quite a lot of them, and they're buffed by the looks of it, so... Could definitely work, but he's going to shoot them from a distance. And actually, I'm not sure if they're more effective with their bow mode. I don't know if they get a bonus the way Lindens do. I doubt they have the same bonus. I would be able to tell. They do seem pretty effective from a distance, so this seems to be a pretty good way to actually deal with Gondor Knights. Using Spider Riders, shooting them from a distance. And the Knights are forced to retreat. And we have Frodo, the lone survivor, manages to get away when the timer ran out. Another big, probably a Wildman summon again. Combined with more units. Going straight for Angmar. And again, Muadd has to come to help his ally in this. He's going to aim straight for the pikes. And really now he can trample. Just those 2 pikes really that could cause problems. And there you go. I think that was heal that was used by Parson. But really, there's a lot of Spider Riders here. And they're going to cause a lot of problems. And that... How did that troll not attack that mill? It was really close to his lair. And it got to level 2 somehow. We do have a builder here. But he should be safe for now. Angmar quickly spamming more units, but on the right we can see again Djinges has just been spamming like crazy. It's worked really well for him. Let's look at his base, actually. I'm curious to see what he has. He's spamming from 2 steadings with an Orc Pit for support, working really well. Great thing to do against Goblins here. Because, of course, spamming tons of Wildmen is really much better than trying to spam those expensive Orcs, or you won't really have in the same numbers. And the pikemen, of course, are also needed from the Uruk Pit in case the Spider Riders show up. Otherwise, the Spider Riders would clear this whole army much faster. But with the pikes, they have to take the time to actually shoot them from a distance. And we can see Djinges here is just preparing for a final assault. He's upgrading his siege works to level 2 right beside Muadd's base, pretty much. He's going to get some ballistae, and he's going to protect it with a Warg Sentry. This is actually a really nice forward base. You can see here he's setting it up quite nicely. And Muadd is just stuck there. He has his Spider Riders trying to stop Parson, who has Faramir at level 2. And it was just really well played for the Southern team. I think at this point, it's just a matter of seeing how long it actually takes for the game to end. Let's take a look at powers. Lazarus, Angmar here. He has a War Chance, No Bind, and Fell Wind, all 3 5-point powers, and the Summon Whites. And Djinges is Isengard in the bottom right, who played so well throughout the game. Has tons of units here. He's got Crabbind, he's got Vision of the Palantir, which he could use at any time now to scout. He's got the Summon Wildman, and he does have Industry, which he's already used to really improve his economy. Muadd here in the top right, who has to defend against this massive onslaught. He's got War Chant, Tainted Land, Cave Bats, and he's got Scavenger, which is giving him money for every kill. It's not going to be enough, I think. And Parson, he has Rallying Call, Heal, and Summon Hobbits, which is about to charge, and 11 power points, almost 12, close to the 15-point mark. After which he can summon Rohirrim, I believe, if he so desires. We do have some half-trolls now, half-troll marauders and half-troll swordsmen. But now we have a ballista, and we have Lurtz over here, and a couple of units. And Muadd is just in trouble. He has all of these Spider Riders, but he seems to be kind of ignoring the problem over here. Okay, now he's going to go after them. But there are pikes to defend these guys. You can see he's trying to take them out from a distance. And I bet those wargs are going to cause a bit of trouble. Warg sentries are surprisingly effective. They're quite strong in 2.02. And he did take out the ballista. He's going to try to use these half-trolls to take out these warg sentries. It's working out so far. Got to be careful with the pikes. Just barely avoids them. Loses 2 Spider Riders, but not too big of a deal. And he takes out that warg sentry, but we have another ballista. And I did hear a Rohirrim summon. Parson did go for that. He summoned the Rohirrim. And now, look at that. We've got the soldiers dealing with... actually, those are his pikes. For some reason, I thought they were Rudar Spearmen. They look slightly similar. Anyway, those Black Numenoreans are going to be a bit annoying for him, but he's got the Rohirrim. Easy to deal with them. And Lazarus is really screwed at this point. He doesn't have anything left by the looks of it. He's just going to lose everything. He's deleting everything. Yep, Muadd actually gave up, surrendered the game, and so did Lazarus. The game was over at that point. Definitely an interesting game and an interesting map. I hope to see more players playing on Far Harad. And anyway, that was the first game in the first round for these 4 players. And next we'll cover the second game between them.